Rory McIlroy is about to finish the season one event short of the PGA Tour's minimum requirement. Two players in Tour history have been suspended for exactly this. Right now, it looks like Rory won't be the third. Before we get into it, if you're into clear-eyed breakdowns of what's actually happening on tour, without the theatrics, stick around and subscribe. We're a small independent channel building something real here, and every subscriber genuinely helps. Here's the rule plainly. Every fully exempt PGA Tour member has to play a minimum number of official events each season, 15 for most members, 12 for the home tour category that covers international players who also compete elsewhere, like on the DP World Tour. It's written into the player handbook, and it exists to protect the sponsors, broadcasters, and tournaments who are paying for star power to actually show up. This rule has bite. Seve Ballesteros was suspended for missing it back in 1986. Kaymer was suspended for it in 2016. Now here's where McIlroy stands. He's said, repeatedly and directly, that he's playing a lighter schedule this year on purpose. He's pointed to Tiger Woods as his model, picking tournaments strategically instead of grinding through a full slate, and that included skipping the Travelers' Championship this summer, one of the tour's signature events. By most counts, he's made 9 PGA Tour starts so far this year. Add the Genesis Scottish Open and the Open Championship, and he's projected to land around 11 heading into the FedEx Cup playoffs, likely finishing the season around 14 events total. One short. So why isn't this a suspension story? Because the player handbook has a built-in escape hatch. The commissioner has the discretion to reduce that minimum for a foreign member if he decides there's a valid medical or extraordinary circumstances reason for the shortfall. According to golf reporter Bob Harig, that's exactly the path the tour is expected to take, using that discretion to waive enforcement rather than pursue punishment. Multiple outlets have reported the tour has effectively signaled it won't penalize him. Now, to be straight with you, the tour hasn't laid out its full reasoning in public detail, and how official this actually is still varies a bit depending on which outlet you read. Some coverage treats it as close to settled. Other reporting still frames it as expected, not confirmed. So if you're tracking this closely, that's the real uncertainty left. Not whether some specific fine is coming, nobody credible has actually confirmed a number, but exactly how publicly the tour ends up explaining itself. Here's why people are annoyed, and it's not really about McIlroy the person, it's about consistency. Kaymer got suspended for this. Ballesteros got suspended for this. If the same rule bends because of who the player is, that's a fair question to ask out loud. Some analysts have said exactly that. This is the tour making an exception for stature, not because the rule changed. The counter-argument is just as real, though. McIlroy has been the tour's most visible defender through the entire LIV golf split. He's a career Grand Slam winner, and the discretion he's benefiting from is written into the tour's own rulebook for cases exactly like this. Using it isn't obviously wrong, it's the system working the way it was designed to work. Whether it feels fair is a different question from whether it's within the rules. So where does this actually leave things? Barring a reversal, McIlroy avoids suspension, keeps his membership status intact, and heads into the Open Championship without this hanging over him. But the bigger question doesn't go away with him. If a handful of the sport's biggest stars can lean on a discretionary clause that a mid-tier player never gets offered, that's not a one-time story. That's a precedent. And the next time a player without McIlroy's leverage misses this same threshold, this is exactly the case the tour is going to have to answer for. What do you think? Is this the rule working exactly as intended, or a quiet double standard for the tour's biggest names? Drop your take below. Thanks for watching. We'll keep tracking this as the season heads into the Open Championship and the playoffs.